Jake, obviously, we talked to Connor yesterday. We talked to some of the guys in the room, and the understanding is clear where you guys are in the standings. How disappointing yesterday was as a group to not be able to pick up any points. You, as one of the vocal and important leaders in this room, what do you want your team to know about where you guys are and how little runway is left and what can be accomplished here?
Yeah, obviously, yes, yeah. Like you said, yesterday was disappointing to come out with no points, and for the most part, we played a pretty decent game, until the third period, and I think you have to look at a realistic, lens. You realize that it hasn't gone the way we wanted this year, no question. There's nothing we can do about that now. We just gotta. Sometimes when you need to change your behaviors a little bit to adapt to where we are. I think that's the biggest thing. Is we have one. Really, all we can focus on is one game here. We have 3 weeks to clear minds, but today is about just your mindset at practice, and tomorrow it's gonna be your mindset in the morning, and then your mindset at night. Between those hours, you can do whatever the heck you want to do, but it's just about trying to bring it, and we'll see what it takes us tomorrow. We obviously understand the importance of the game, but I think it's first starts with our behaviors, and then our mentality just till tomorrow. So we really have 30 odd hours to really focus in, and then we can really check out for a while and regroup and start fresh.
What do you mean by behaviors? What do you
just the principles in the game, just consistency throughout the game, understanding the situations of the game, momentum. That's a lot of hockey is winning the game within the game, understanding what you need at the right moments in the games, and that all comes down to behaviors and your mindset in the game. It's just being checked in all the time. It's not going to go perfect. That's not what we're trying to accomplish here. It's just about really trying to get the most out of each situation, each sequence, and sometimes it asks for something different all the time. You sort of just got to take what the game gives you and adapt those behaviors to what that is. And so I think that just comes with experience and maturity, but at the same time, time is running out. We need to change those.
There is maturity in this group, and we've talked a lot about this year, but what's the weight that carries when expectations are really high, they're not being met, and how do you balance that?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing. I think a lot of us have been on teams with really high expectations and maybe not met up to them, but we still have a lot of belief in this group where we can get to in the last quarter here. But at the same time, it's just coming with your own standards individually first. I think that should be the first step, having your own standards, and then that adheres to your group standards, and generally somewhere in the middle you'll find some success in that. So we really the reality is we got a quarter of the season left, one game here, and then see what we can do after February, March.
And really a unique scenario that a lot of these guys haven't gone through just because it's been so long since you've been at them. That's a long break. Yeah. So how do you even begin to handle that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think every guy is going to go about it differently, to be honest. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be incredible for those guys going to the Olympics. We have 7 Olympians, I believe, and I mean, if I was in their shoes, it'd be tough not to be thinking about that 24/7. But obviously, this is our day job. But I know they're all excited and anxious to go, and we're rooting for them. But at the same time, I think it'll be good for us to, check out as best you can. I'm sure we'll be watching. But then, I think halfway through that break, you got to start getting the wheels ticking again. You can't just expect to come back here and turn the lights on and go out and do it again, especially with the importance of our schedule. So I think halfway through that break, you're going to start to get those wheels in motion a little bit, and just get the mind going, and then you get the legs, and hopefully it all comes together.
Big Olympics fan?
I love the Olympics, yeah. I love the Olympics. Obviously, wish I was playing, but I've always loved
other
them.
Sports too.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a big Summer Olympics guy. I love the Summer Olympics, and obviously the winter too. But someday, once hockey's over, I'll definitely attend them.
I was gonna say, what maybe of the Olympics that's not hockey related, that in the Winter Games that you just sort of are drawn to?
I mean, obviously there's so many. Obviously the female hockey as well, but I mean, skiing, the snowboarding, even the curling, and curling's been, I find it super interesting to watch, and it's just amazing because it's something that happens once every 4 years, and so many people outside the hockey realm just train for those 4 years. So that's why I think it's the craziest spectacle ever, and it's glory, or some people obviously fall short 4 years of training. So it's an amazing event, so looking forward to it.
Sheldon, obviously you had a couple guys this morning who weren't on the ice, particularly Nico, Jack, and Brownie. Do you have an update on how they're doing?
Jack is just not improved enough to the point that our medical team will let him get out there. So he's not going to be available for tomorrow. Brownie just needed a day today, and then Nico, same thing, needed the day. Main thing is he's still recovering from the illness that he had that hit him pretty hard, and he's down he's down near 10 pounds. So I've been trying to get that back on him, and so just felt keeping him off the ice was the prudent thing to do to kind of let him build himself back up.
Is there any concern about his availability for tomorrow?
No, he'll be fine tomorrow. We're just trying to get the best version of him that we can.
Are you concerned at all about Jack going over to the Olympics, given his current health status?
Based on what they've told me, they're not concerned about it. He's in the day-to-day category, and it just so happens we don't have a lot of days left here. I don't even know exactly what the schedule is when they go over there, but I don't think they have any concern at this point. Either A, his availability there, or B, it impacting anything that would have hurt his recovery. So that's not of my concern at this point. And the reality is, the players have earned the right to go over there, and I think it's going to be an outstanding showcase for our league and for the players themselves. So there's that, but the two things are not connected. I mean, it's just poor timing.
Sheldon, one of the things you talked about yesterday post-game was sort of seeing your team kind of wilt in the third period at one point, and you talked about mental toughness. How do you address something like that with your team, right? Because that has to come from within. So how do you?
Yeah, it has to come from within, and also, you got to go through it. It's through the hard times you can build yourself up and be more resilient. And I think we have been resilient at different times, but obviously not enough. And the build-up of our ability to handle these situations isn't good enough. So that's, I think it comes from within. It comes from experience. And then it also just comes from confidence and just all these kind of things. I mean, let's leave the game, myself included. You feel terrible. You need to get a good result. The end of the game, when it's over and done, you don't like the way it all played out. Yet, here as the coach, you watch the game back. It's 29 minutes into the game, we're almost the halfway point of the second period. We've given up 5 shots. We're doing a lot of good things that are setting ourselves up. We got to take advantage of our time with the puck. We make 1 or 2 plays and get up 1 or 2 nothing at halfway point of the game, and you've given up 5 shots. You're feeling pretty darn good about yourself. But we've got to put it together. You gotta be good defensively, as we have been through 2 games now. You got to do it for 60 minutes. Then you also, the reward with defending well is you're going to get the puck more. And that's what I've liked about our game here. One of the biggest concerns when you lose Jack, and Luke for this matter, is your ability to break out, get to the neutral zone, establish play in the offensive zone. That's the strength of what those guys do. That hasn't been an issue. Our guys have done a really nice job of solving that. Now the reward is that you have the puck. We've got to take more advantage of that. So that's on me to give them some solutions and show them the things that are available, what the offense will leave it on the table. It's on them. It's also to make plays and find a little bit more flow offensively and take advantage of the work that they're putting in to be good defensively and have the time with the puck.
Sheldon, how much interaction do you have with the players at intermission between periods, and what are you seeing in the locker room? Do you get the sense they're all pulling on the same rope? Are some players maybe saying, "Hey, you should be doing this or that"? What's your sense of the locker room at intermission?
Yeah, the sense is nice. You feel good in the intermission. It's my interaction with the players. They usually come in around the same time. We take time for the players to decompress a little bit, and I take time to process what's gone on and prepare a message to give to the guys. it's sort of in between all of that. The special teams are, Jeremy or Shazi are, dealing with those kind of things inside the room. Then when I go in, you give them a couple points and off you go. These last couple of games leave a poor taste in their mouth with the third periods and how we've handled it. I don't think it's been much of an issue all season. I mean, check today, with a lead going into the third, we're 18-0. I think that's pretty good. We'll take that. So that's positive. I look at the Nashville game. We found a way, there to stay in the game and get us to overtime, get the extra point, and all that kind of stuff. So, the critical time in these last couple of games coming into the break here, we haven't managed it well, but I don't see it as an overriding issue. Our issue is putting it all together. Sometimes our special teams have been really good, and our 5-on-5 play hasn't matched it. Sometimes our defensive play, like I've just been talking about, for good chunks of the game, that we've been really, really good and not giving up much and, not spending much time in our end. But offensively, we haven't executed or taken advantage of our puck time, so we're not building leads. Just talked about when we build a lead, we're darn good, that's where it's got to come together, and we got one game left on the schedule here before the break, so no better time for it to happen.
How did it tie into both of those things when you say 5-on-5 comes through and special teams fall short, or goaltending? All of these pieces, like you mentioned, aren't coming together. Do you feel like it's a sense of overcompensation when you're hyper fixating on certain areas and then you maybe lose the details in the other way?
I do. Like when you're searching for it, as we have, like, listen, it feels like it's been months here, right? We've been kind of, we've been searching for it. We haven't found consistency in our game. Some of it is associated with the injuries and the missing key players at key times and adjusting and adapting to that. And it goes without saying, we started the season very, very well, and then we lost Pesci, and then we lost Jack, and we chased it for a long time, and then we found a little bit of stability and got some guys back, and then we started to kind of lose our game, and we found our way back, won 5 out of 6, and then now we're chasing it. Like it's just been one of those years that way. But within all this, we still got to grow as a team, and I think in some ways we have, in some ways we've taken a step back, and that's kind of why we find ourselves where we are. But there's only one way out, and that's to take advantage of each day and keep embracing it. I thought we had an outstanding practice today. Really love the energy and the execution the guys brought today. So obviously we're looking forward to seeing that come to the ice in our final game before the break.
What areas have you seen where you've taken a step back? What have you identified as, okay, we've moved forward, but now we're just...
Well, it's just, we've been so pedestrian offensively, that's it. That'd be the biggest area. System hasn't changed, structure hasn't changed. I mean, last year Brader's, he had a career high in points. Nico had a career high in goals. Jack was, before he got injured, was, doing extremely well for us. We had some other guys, Cotter, Nason, guys that had career years. Glass is having a career year this year. Like, inside of it, like, the system's there and the guys are executing it, but it's just, when we've, back to the earlier question, it was like, when we've gotten better defensively and put our attention that way, well, things start to slip the other way. And there's some confidence. We're shooting on the scoring chances that we do get at the worst rate in the league. So that starts to compound itself and to turn into lack of confidence now, and then now your team's chasing it. Like, this is just, unfortunately, where we're at, but it doesn't do us any good to dwell on that, which is what the message was today for practice, is let's get better today. Let's leave here feeling a lot better about ourselves than we do now. These guys care a lot. The results and how it all plays out maybe don't look like it, just like you come away from a game like last night and you feel like it's not a great effort. Those guys gave a lot of effort last night. Like I said, you don't keep a team, especially a team that's coming in and playing the way that they have been. You don't keep them to 5 shots through 29 minutes of hockey by not playing hard and not playing into a structure, into a system. But as we showed our guys today, there is a lot of offense available that we have to see it. We have to execute it. Our passing's got to be better. Our spacing's got to be better. All the execution inside the structure has got to be better, and that's where it comes to the players making the plays. That's kind of what it comes down to. So we got to marry all that together. And like I said, no better time than tomorrow, and really is their only time because it's all that's left on the schedule here before we all get away from here.
I know Jack's been skating a little bit on his own. Was he going to skate today or early tomorrow?
I don't believe he skated today. I'm not sure what the plan is tomorrow. They just where he was at today, they just didn't feel, that it was worthwhile for him to skate. So, he didn't skate. Brownie didn't skate. Nico did not skate. But the latter two will be available tomorrow.